What makes a flop a flop? That's the question that this review of the new Supergirl film will attempt to answer. Welcome to DC Doom, the series where I watch and review every DC film and television show on my quest to become the world's most prolific reviewer. The movie has been out a week now, and it has been declared a flop, unfortunately. I think we still have this collective notion as a society that if a movie is a failure at the box office, that it is a bad film. There are multiple examples that prove this idea is not true, such as Fight Club and Shawshank Redemption. Supergirl is not as good as those movies, but it isn't as bad as people would have you think. There are three reasons the film has flopped. The first is unfortunate timing. It was released at the same time as Toy Story 6, and as movies get increasingly expensive, people are more selective about what they want to watch, so they choose a huge franchise rather than a more unpopular DC character. The second reason is that this movie is all about trauma. Do you know what sells a lot of popcorn? Trauma. I think James Gunn saw the reaction to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is also all about trauma, and decided he could repeat it. But those characters had what feels like dozens of movies to develop. Supergirl had a cameo in one movie. The last reason is connected to the character herself. I love Supergirl, and the reason I love Supergirl is the reason that mass audiences generally don't like her. Supergirl is not a character that is easily defined. Everyone knows what Superman is supposed to be like, which is why the Snyderverse version is so divisive. Supergirl can be defined by her trauma, as in this version. She can be naive, like in the original Supergirl film. She can be a force of destruction learning to be better, like in My Adventures with Superman. Or she can be very similar to her cousin, as in the Arrowverse version of the character. So that's why it flopped. I think people will come back to this movie a few years down the road and reevaluate it positively. What did I think about the film? Miley Alcock does a superb job as the character. The story of her overcoming her trauma to help a little girl bent on revenge is good. Like with all James Gunn films, it looks and sounds great. However, there are a few things that made me pause. The first is the plot flexible nature of Kara's, that's Supergirl, powers. I can understand that when she's on a planet with a red sun, she will not have powers, but if she's on a planet with a yellow star, she should be unstoppable, a force of nature, a vindictive goddess. And she is when the plot demands it, and is weaker when the plot demands it. I feel like the overpoweredness of the Kryptonians is what makes it writing them so interesting, but you just can't say, oh, well, she's really powerful, but not right now. Here's some examples of what I mean. There's no such thing as a green star, and even if there were, it wouldn't cause the same reaction as kryptonite. She's not allergic to the color green. Speaking of kryptonite, the leader of the bandit has some kryptonite in case he meets some Kryptonian, but there's only two left, and as far as people know, the whole species is extinct. Why would he be carrying around kryptonite? That's like me having my anti-T-Rex gun, my anti-T-Rex gun. She also gets poisoned on a planet with a yellow sun. How is that possible when she can breathe in space? The worst offender is what they did with my boy Crypto. Crypto also gets poisoned because they're on a planet with a red sun. Fair enough. But Kara is shown recovering from being ejected into space because she bathes in the light of a yellow sun. Why not do that with Crypto? He's also Kryptonian, which is why he can fly on Earth. So the plot of the movie makes no sense. And the addition of Lobo is completely unnecessary. He neither subtracts nor adds anything to the film. While I did like it, I am probably much more forgiving of it than other people would be. I think it's worth watching anyway, so check it out while it's still in the theaters. My rating is 8 out of 10. I'm trying to become the most prolific reviewer of all time, so if you like what I do, please leave a like, leave a comment, or subscribe. Thank you. Bye.